I do that.
So, one of the biggest mistakes that I come across when in front of clients and potential clients is they struggle to have defined their target market. I mean, some people, which always takes me by surprise, are still marketing B2B is the limit of their segmentation, or B2C, or not doing that sort of well, because if you get that bit right, you understand your target audience really well. Marketing's not that complicated. You serve them information that they need.
Yeah.
Because you've done that bit, and that's a massive bit. That's a massive problem I see that, and it harps back to the not having a strategy bit, because segmentation and defining your target audience is one of the most important parts of the strategy.
Yeah, I think, I mean, God, there are many big mistakes that business owners make. I think I've pretty much made most of them myself. Yeah, we should do a whole session on our we should do a whole session on our biggest screw ups. It would be a long one.
Hashtag fail.
Yeah, set yourself some time for that. But I think you're right. I think things like not charging enough. I think things like going for the wrong people. I think things like spending time on the wrong things. And lots of people will say, "Oh yeah, in the early days I spent some time on the wrong things." But every one of these things harps back to one single point of screw-uppery, is the fact that they don't have a clear picture of what they're doing and why.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the the biggest things. And again, sort of taking it back. Actually, part of it is what is their reason for running a business, and it almost always has to be something other than the business. I'm doing what I do solely for achieving a lifestyle for Amy and the boys, and again, it's slightly kind of in theory off topic, but actually it's bang on topic, because I've got this really clear outcome.
Yeah.
The only way I can do that is to have a plan that works towards that point.
Yeah.
And as part of that plan, there is the time I want to work, there is the hours I want to put in, there is the money I want to earn out of it. And it's only when you go through these things, think, well, okay, the only way I can achieve that is to have a plan that delivers towards that thing there. So actually, kind of procrastination is a symptom of not having a clear, painful enough plan, or painful, whatever's going to go wrong, your failure is too painful. That's why procrastination comes in, because if your plan, I mean, not all the time, but you know what I mean. If your plan is not serious enough, big enough, painful enough, if you fail, then you'll procrastinate.
Yeah.
If you find yourself, scrabbling around for cash, and I get it, we've all been there, that's a symptom of not having a clear picture of who you want to target and then what you need to do about it. And I think, sorry, man,
that's 100% it. I think that lack of clarity, right? That lack of clarity creates the worst thing in business for people who run their own business, and that's peaks and troughs.
Yes. Yeah.
Peaks and troughs of happiness. Peaks and troughs of income, peaks and troughs of workload, whatever it is that you're worried about in your business, whether you want more time, whether you want better outcome, whether you want better client, the peaks and troughy stuff of it is where we become unhappy. And entrepreneurship, running a business, is a bit peak and troughy. Yeah. But without clarity of why you're doing what you're doing, of how you're going to achieve that. What's that look like in a business sense, but financially, what people do you need, what marketing you need to do to get that kind of revenue in? If you don't have that compass, that thing that guides that, the peaks and troughs will be more violent, or if that's the right way.
No, I think it is. I think it, one of the biggest, where sort of Tim and I tend to get called in a lot, is where people, if we're honest, they want to earn more money. That is normally kind of the big symptom, that is there. But I genuinely think earning more money is one of the most difficult things to do, because it's not a real physical, touchable, tangible thing. People kind of go, oh shit, I need, I've got to earn some more cash, and that's a symptom of it. But you can't just earn more cash. You can only do things that will earn more cash. Does that make sense? If actually,
100%.
And this is where kind of, we say it a lot, but this is where you have to have this plan, because people are waiting and think, shit, I need more cash, and actually that's really hard, because you have to. It's not a real thing. It's not a thing you can touch. You can't just do it. You can only do the stuff. Whereas actually, when you have that plan, you think, well, okay, I'm making it up now. Every time I sit down with 10 people, 5 people, this is why I get myself in trouble because I'm not very good with numbers. Every time I sit down with 10 people, you know, 5 people, if 5 of those conversations are useful and 1 person buys, if I need to sell, I can't do that, 100 things across the year, because I need to earn, you know, £100,000, and you sell 100 things at £1,000, I can then work it back and think, well, okay, I need to have, I can't do the math, forgive me, 500 conversations. Just, yeah, pretend I can do the math, but don't. But having 500 conversations is a real, tangible, touchable thing. So actually think, well, okay, how does that come? Well, I'll go networking, because I know at some networking I get 3 conversations. And you just work it back, and you just work it back, and you just work it back. So actually, you're not waking up thinking, oh God, I've got to make some money. You're thinking, right, what do I need to do today to make contact with 3 brand new accountants? Boom. Now that's dead easy, because if your life depends on that, because every 10 accountants you talk to, 5 are decent conversations, 1 makes you £1,000. If you need to earn, I can't do the math again. If you need to earn whatever you need to earn, that's what you're doing, and that's why you have your plan, and that's why you have, you know, your bits above the plan. Because actually, Paul, I don't just want to hit the phone. So actually, every month I'm going to send 20 accountants this box, this letter, this thing, this email, this video, and you know, from those 20, normally 10 get to a meeting. So actually, there is no more wake up and panic of I've got to earn some more money. No, I've just got to do 20 of these boxes. So you even hand it to a minion or to your support staff and say, you know, look, please can you go and find me 20 accountants. Go and Google 20 accountants that are like this, and this. Send me this box, send them this email, and then tell me who's opened it, because I'm going to pick up the phone to them. And then you've got that plan.
That's it. I think, definitely, I think money is a result of doing other stuff well.
Yeah.
Right? It just is. And I did a very similar thing to Paul just explained, like back end of last year. I focused on what it's called proactive metrics, right? Because we as marketers, us included, can measure a lot of stuff. Yes. And a lot of stuff that doesn't matter, and a lot of stuff that we're not in control of. Impression, reach and clicks are massive marketing metrics that people look at. But none of those are things that we're in control of. So having an element, having the clarity and the plan that sets out a proactive metrics, measuring something we're in control of, is really important. So my proactive metric is conversation started, because exactly as Paul said, I know the more people I talk to and answer their questions and get to understand those people, my business moves forward. That's helped me with my plan and growth and clarity, and it's reduced the amount of content I've done, but has increased the effectiveness of the content I've done. My audiences haven't decreased anywhere. I've got more friends and followers and reach and impressions than I ever have without focusing on that stuff. Because I know I need to talk to these sort of people.
And I think it actually helps to fix one of the most challenging things as business owners, which is the stress and the frustration and I can't think what the word is, like the ability that you can't change what's happening to you, where the world's kind of happening to you. Forgive me, I can't think what the word is, and that's kind of soul destroying. It's head crunching, and you end up in this dark place where you feel like, you know, the kind of the futility of it. You don't know what to do about it because you've got this pressure. I've got to earn more, and you're focusing on that. Whereas actually, if you've got a proper plan and you've worked it all back, and you look at it and think, well, actually, the only thing I need to do today is go and find 10 new accountants. Well, do you know what? If your life depends on it, you'll go on Google. If your life depends on it, you'll walk down your high street. You'll ask your mates. You know, that is a thing that you can measure. That is a thing that you can take real action on. And it just, I mean, God, from someone that's done it, it helps so much with that stress. It helps so much with the proactivity. And it gives you that complete and utter focus. And, you know, my old boss used to say this, he was a very sort of smart guy, you know, concentrated effort is better than effort. You know, all that effort you put on making money, you can't, because it's not a real thing. But you can put real effort into, go and find these 10 people and do these things to it. Because once you've done it once, you know what works. So actually next month, well, okay, I'm going to do 10 of those things as I did last month, because history, facts prove to me that of those 10 things that are going to happen, 2 are going to do this. Brilliant. So that's happening, and I'll do something else. So next month, I've got this thing happening to these people. So actually I've now got 2 different marketing campaigns, 2 different pillars that are driving in there, and it just helps with that kind of that feeling of kind of crushingness, and and it gives you a proper focus. But you've got to have the plan to do it.
You've got to have the plan to do it. I think hit the nail on the head there, if I'm honest. That having that clarity, that clearness of thought, especially when it comes to marketing, with all the stuff you could possibly do in the world of marketing, simplifying it to the one thing, right?
Yes.
Which is an amazing book.
Yeah,
not to
well
go down
worth
this
the read.
route.
Yeah.
But using that ethos, right, of having the one. What's the one thing I need to do today that will move me forward to this goal, right?
Yeah.
What's that one thing? Do I have to make 5 cold calls? Do I have to do a Facebook Live video? Yeah. Do I have to write a blog on this topic because people keep asking me and I haven't got any content that answers it?
Yeah. And it instructs your marketing, because if it is for you that you are someone that needs to go and speak to 10 accountants, well, let's go and find where they hang out. They'll have a conference. They'll have a thing. They'll be franchise. It informs your actions, so you're not doing that. God, I just need stuff. Well, okay, and well, I can either go and make 5 phone calls to 5 people, or I can go and find the National Accountants Conference, or I can go and speak to someone that supplies accountants with things. It just gives you steps to follow, but without that plan, you just end up in that. Where the hell do I go?
That's it.
Perfect.
Good.
It's another good one.